Everyone, how's it going? I'm back with another message you to hear right now. Let's hop right into it and find out what message your angels have for you today. From the jump, I am hearing that you got a lot of people talking about how on point or on fire you are lately. I feel like for a lot of you, this has something to do with the messages that you are conveying to people, whether it be through your work or your everyday life. People know you to be somebody who is on point with the things that you tell people, and a lot of the things that you say come true. You're actually freaking a lot of people out because there are things that you have discussed years ago that are actually coming to fruition lately. I feel like for some of you, you may not have even realized that you're doing this. It's just natural for you to understand how people think and you understand how people move. So maybe you try to warn people about certain things, or some of you are just really into what's going on in the world and you make little predictions for fun. Whatever it is that you are doing, just know that people are discussing that you're always on point and you're usually right about things, but something came out recently in somebody's life and they're talking about it because you're the person who pointed it out. And I feel like for some of you, again, this could be something to do with something you told this person personally, or you had a conversation about somebody else to them and that ended up coming true. I also feel like you are the person that people always say is right about others. So I feel like a situation is coming through right now where someone is talking to someone else about how you warned them about another person and they didn't want to believe you, and now all that stuff is coming true. Or for some of you, I do feel like there was a situation where somebody was just bad energy and brought bad energy around, arguments, conflict, and you told that person that they were bringing in the bad juju basically, and they didn't want to believe you, but after they cut this person off, they realized how peaceful their life is. So again, people are saying now that you are right about things. So if you're saying something, it must be true. But we're going to look into it a little bit more and see what other situations you have been right about lately. But people are saying that you're on fire, you're on point. Some of you out there do spiritual work, like you are readers or you have channels yourself, and people are talking about your videos, your content, or if you do like personal readings, how you were right about something. I feel like for some of you out there, you're not spiritual workers in that sense, but you're just that person, that friend, that family member, that person at work that just always knows how things are gonna go. I'm hearing somebody predicted how a business was going under and then it did. I'm hearing for some of you that this is a prediction for you, because what I'm hearing is that you have this gift that you can actually use to make more money or something to do with your job. Like you could predict how things are gonna go and somehow that helps you make the right investments, or you've done this many times. And I do feel for a lot of you out there, you have that gift of intelligence. So you don't even realize that some of this is a spiritual gift from God. And I always say this, that claircognizant energy is like that, just knowing. You guys have that. So always trust that. Scorpio came out. Some of you guys may be Scorpio, have Scorpio placements. Someone around you could be a Scorpio too that's talking about you. Face your feelings. Interesting enough, I feel like a lot of you out there have been doing a lot of healing. So, well, if not everybody out there, I'm hearing, because collectively, and if you're new here, welcome. You guys are my light workers, my healers. You're my collective here, and you went through an awakening recently that made you super, super psychic. And I know you guys have gone through many of them before, but if this is your first, then, congratulations, you're more in tune now. But again, what I'm hearing is that you've gone through many awakenings. Maybe this is the first one you're realizing is an awakening for some of you out there. But what I'm picking up on is the fact that you are way more psychic than you were before. And that's because of the healing that you've done, the letting go of people. So some of you could be losing your objects or just feeling not very grounded. So make sure you take time every day to ground yourself, especially through this process, because yes, you are super psychic, but at times you're going to have to kind of put yourself back into this world. And I know a lot of you have been feeling really airheaded. I know I have too. I've been losing kind of like focus, but again, like I've been having really strong dreams. I know a lot of you guys out there having strong dreams too. What I'm hearing as well is that if you've been having dreams lately, maybe interpret the non-literal meanings of the dreams, like the signs or the images, or some of you guys are actually having dreams about people that's going to come true. And if you're dreaming about people as well, those are the people that could be talking about you or even thinking about you. Because I am hearing that you've got a few people wanting to come back from the past. And one of the reasons is because you were right about something that you discussed with them. There's definitely someone coming through here that wishes they planted seeds with you and not with somebody else, because the person that they decided to team up with is not as intuitive, not as psychic, and basically has actually advised them to make the wrong investments. And I'm hearing, well, that's not my job. So some of you guys, like there's someone out there that rather team up with someone else, like professionally or business wise, because they thought that person would be easier to control, or that person was a yes person, whatever. But now when it comes to the things that they need help with that you could have helped them with, that person's saying, well, that's not my area of expertise. Like, I don't know that, but you would have been able to point that out to that person. And I feel for some of you, this is something to do with a relationship, because somebody was in a relationship or a situation with you where you were the intuitive psychic one. At the time, they didn't really want to believe the things that you were saying, but now they all came to fruition, and the person that they decided to be with or date or marry or whatever, right? This person is not as in tune with their spiritual gifts. If anything, they could be in tune with the darker energies too as well, and they're advising them to do things that is hurting them or hurting their business. Or this person is just not helpful at all. They're just stressing out. I feel like, again, I'm picking up a situation where obviously this person picked this person for a reason. They do what they're told, but they can't help with the things this person needs help with, especially not spiritually, and they can't see things that you guys can see. So when it comes to just being able to, they're picking this person's brain or asking them, hey, what do you think about this? You guys know situations in your life where you have a hard time making decisions, so you ask the people around you, and you're more intuitive or smarter friends you trust. Something like that. Like, you are that intuitive, smart friend that people love to go to for advice and bounce their own ideas off of. But somebody here is partnered up with someone who doesn't have that ability, like, at all. They're just kind of like, I'm hearing a parrot. Like, this person's like, don't you have any ideas of your own? Like, something really weird's coming through here. I guess you're being talked about because someone could be toxic here, and they're talking about how they miss being around you because you were the person that was right about this, or you would know what to do. Honestly, guys, this is what I'm sensing. Somebody is talking to somebody else because they kind of want to get permission or something like that to come and talk to you or ask you something. Interesting. Some of you guys, like, maybe this is like a relationship or an ex-husband or something. They have a new wife and they have to kind of ask that person permission to come talk to you about things, even if you guys co-parent or something. Some of you guys, it's like a business thing or whatever. Someone's like, okay, I'm going to ask this person I used to work with because they're going to know the answers. And this person's like, what the heck? Like, you know, I don't know. It's something about you and this person were not on good terms. But now this person's thinking about talking to you or asking you for advice or something because you were the one that's going to be right about this, or you're the person that people go to in their time of need. So yeah, some of you guys have someone out there that your relationship's over with them in one way or another, but yet you're still the person that they go to for advice. And the craziest thing is that you guys are really kind people. Like, I feel like if they wrote you an email or they called you, you'd be like, what do you need? What do you need help with? This is what I think. They're like, thank you, bye. You know, like something like that. Like, you don't even ask anything of people, which is super kind of you. Midheaven, mind your reputation. Yeah, I feel like you got a really good reputation for being on point, for being the person who knows a lot, and your reputation is definitely like, I'm hearing it's increasing. So that can mean that you're gaining popularity. This is a good sign too as well for those that are creatives, because the message I got today was you're on point, or you're about to be, because some of you out there are basically coming back into the world with these newfound gifts that you have. Like, you always had your gifts, but you've definitely got these gifts turned up a notch after you cut people off, cleansed your aura, and you just went through a divinely orchestrated awakening. And I think as a collective, we've all been going through that, but some of you guys more than others. And my people out there who are already spiritual, already doing spiritual work, like, your energy has been turned up a notch. Like, your gifts have been turned up a notch, and people can sense that too. Like, you've always been that person that people go to in their time of need, but someone's having a spiritual problem, I'm hearing, and they want you to pray for them. They want you to help them. But this is a problem that you told them not to go down that road. Like, there's definitely a situation here, and I do feel for some of you that if you are spiritual workers, if people know that you are with God and you pray, like, you tell people, I have a bad feeling about this person that you are getting into business with, or this person that you are getting a relationship with, like, they're doing something bad, you know, and like, they didn't want to believe you. So now they're deep in there and their energy is not good, and that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, I miss having you at my side. Yeah, there's somebody here who misses. Someone can have a Scorpio midheaven too, or you guys could as well, which makes sense with this like crazy psychic energy. Like, you're meant to be seen with this all-knowing energy. And it doesn't matter what you do for work or how you live your life. This is something that people know about you through friends, through family. Like, this is your reputation. Like, you are the gifted one, and people have been saying this about you as of lately. I know a lot of you have like friends or family or people you grew up around not wanting to say this about you because of their pride. And, you know, it's even the Bible that Jesus was not a prophet in his hometown, like, because it's hard for people who grew up around you to see you in this light. But there's things coming out about the things you predicted that people know that you know what's up. And you predicted a lot of things. And there's people that are starting to talk about you. I'm hearing even in your own town saying that, yeah, I saw this person's video, or I remember they used to always say this in school or in college, and it actually ended up happening. Like, you have something that's, I'm hearing like scientific, but also very intuitive way of thinking, a very unique spiritual gift. And that's a lot of you, if not all of you out here in the collective. I also say this too, I'm a fast talker. The fact you guys can hear me and listen to me process information very fast, it makes you guys people that you have that gift too as well. Because when you channel, a lot of times the information comes through very quickly and you need to be able to get all that information down. So some of you guys could be known for being fast talkers, or you watch videos on a lot of like fast speed or something like that. And again, if I talk too fast, you can always slow the video down. But whenever I channel, sometimes like I talk so fast because if I don't, I'm gonna lose all the information. In the past, I've tried to slow down, but then I lost a lot of the stuff that was coming through. So I try to get it all out for you guys because a lot of information comes through at like lightning speed. And I feel like you guys are having similar experiences where like you're getting a lot of information fast. So I'm hearing you should carry around a notebook and a pen with you when you're driving, when you're walking, when you're going to work, because a lot of intuitive downloads are coming to you guys at this time period. Not only going to help you with your life, but you may get intuitive downloads for other people. Like you are being called to this new level of being because the world is changing again. And collectively speaking, you guys are my teachers and my healers too as well. I always say this, even my first channel, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It was my Pick a Card channel. I always said this, my work was for other spiritual teachers and people that were meant to also help and impact a lot of people. And again, it doesn't mean that you have to be a content creator or anything like that. It just means that you help one person and you have a crazy powerful energy that person has the power to help others, so on and so forth. But I do believe and feel for the collective, whoever's watching, you do have the power to impact much more people than what you're doing now. And that's what you're preparing for. And you need to know that pretty soon you're going to be kicking things into high gear. And a lot of people are going to know your name. That's what I'm hearing. But a lot of people know you for this already. So I feel some of you guys are worried about your reputation, but your reputation is actually very good. Because there's time periods where you may have told people off or had your moments of reacting to whatever craziness was going on around you. But when you stand for something, you're usually right. Like sometimes people don't like the way you defend yourself, but your words have truth to them. And there's just so many things coming out that you ended up being right about. And people wish that they listened to you at the time, but now they think back to all the other things you said. And they're trying to write that stuff down. Like there's somebody here who's trying to remember all the things you told them and write it down because you were right about so many other things in their life. They're like, okay, let me see if all this other stuff comes true. Yeah, someone definitely wants to reach out to you. Keep it easy and breezy. Interesting. Your gifts are so easy. They're not easy for you guys to have, but I'm hearing people, they come to you easily. Like some of you even try to dim your gifts because they're so strong. People are talking about how easily you channel or how easily you just know things or how it's easy for you to access information from the other realms. Attracting abundance. Yeah, I'm sensing that you guys are going to use this gift to attract abundance. A lot of you out there have this gift that you can use to not only create trends, but predict trends too as well. So if your job or something you're doing and revolves around that, that's exactly what you need to be doing. Like just continue to just trust your intuition and the ideas that come to you. Break on through, babe. We got the cusp card here. We got Leo. Confidence is key. We got Leo, Scorpio energy here. Some of you guys could be tapping into some of this energy right now or have this transits going on. We got a Leo Venus here. Someone could be a Leo Venus or a Venus Scorpio or yeah, midheaven could be in Leo too as well. George is here. George, please. So you see how George has stepped to the camera? I'm not gonna move him because he's gonna knock everything over, but please don't set your tail on fire, but that would be on point with the video too. Yeah, people are saying you're on fire right now. Some of you are coming out of this period of rest and you're gonna be like on point, on fire with this next season of your life. So if you don't feel like that portion resonates yet, just know this is like the angels, God telling you that you are gonna have a really good season coming up. That people are going to be saying this about you. But I feel that my collective here, you guys are always feeling like you're not doing your best or you can always be doing better. Please, George. Yeah, you guys always feel like you're not doing your best. You can always be doing better. I'm going to have to move him in a second. But the truth is that even when you do show up, like people are really grateful for that and you do a really great job. So again, just know that people are discussing that even when you do show up, or they wish you would show up more because you're always the one who knows everything. Some of you guys are bosses and they're like want a second of your time, right? And like you always end up just knowing exactly what to say, what to do. But people feel like you're not accessible lately because you are in demand. So if you guys have been taking a break, people just assume that you're busy doing other things. And I actually feel like a lot of you are busy doing other things. Like people just feel like you're always doing something busy, you're always on the go. And also, you guys are known to being all-knowing and gifted, but you're also known to be someone who has multiple talents and skills. So there are people discussing you saying, oh, this person's really good at blank. And people are like, really? That person? Like, because you might be known for one thing, but there's other things you guys do well and people know that about you. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like, some of you guys could be like an engineer and someone's like, well, they're actually a really good singer. Like, people are like talking about how multi-talented you are and how you're just able to access like information in a way. Like, people are saying that your brain is like a computer. And I know for some of you, you don't feel that smart, but it's because of the way you process things and you're able to file through information and get what's needed in order to like pass on the message that's right for people. And again, for some of you, it's not through spiritual work, but it's through other things. Or some of you are actually having a very scientific brain. I was actually organizing some cards, and these cards fell out too before I started the message today. They will see their mistakes. Someone's returning into your life. There's someone trying to make a return, and I'm going to go back to the original message I was talking about here, because they're talking to a partner, whether it be romantic or platonic, someone next to them that doesn't have the answers for them that you have a specialty in. And they're going back in their memories, and they're realizing that you were a piece of their puzzle. Like, there are so many things that you would have fit in perfectly in this plan that they had, but they didn't see it at the time. Or God's plan, I should say, now that they're thinking about it. Like, God had this plan to have this person in my life, and I chose the wrong person to pair up with. I kicked this person to the curb when we could have been an asset to each other. So they're feeling guilty about it. Not only that, they feel like the partner they have with them is useless, or they got as far as this person as they can go. So again, this could be this person's energy and mentality. Like, I feel like everything happens for a reason. If this person and you didn't work out, it's because of a divinely orchestrated intervention, because this person probably wasn't honoring your gifts enough, or honoring the person you were, or had an ego problem, right? But they feel that you're the missing piece of the puzzle, and they're seeing it now. They went through an awakening, and this awakening is helping them process the past and what had happened. They're like, I didn't see it clearly, but this person would be able to help me with this and that and this and that. Their big issue is that this person they could be very smart, but they don't have that intuition that you guys have. So, or they do, but they never trusted. They let people talk them out of their gut feeling. And you're the person who always saw things that they saw, or saw things they didn't see. And they're making like bad business decisions, bad business dealings, I'm hearing, or something like that. And they know that you'd be the one to be able to give them the answers they need. And again, some of you guys, this is more like a client of yours, or this is someone that you worked with in one way or another, or someone like maybe you were a therapist for this person. It could be like something like that, where they took their business elsewhere, and they're realizing that it's not getting the results that they need because you're the one who told them the truth, even when it was hard to hear. Ask again later, attracting abundance. Interesting how I pulled these cards out. Also, because George is laying on them. But yeah, everyone say hi to George because he's demanding attention today. I always tell you guys, you ask him where George goes, he decides when he wants to show up or not. And I'm not going to fight with him on getting him off the board here, because if I do, everything's going to go flying. And I got to stop the message, and I'm not doing that, okay? Let the blessings unfold. Cancer, soften your heart. Yeah, some of you guys have Cancer placements too as well. You're going to enter a very lucky time period, and it's like through your softness and being yourself, like this abundance is coming towards you. And I also feel that there's someone here that's going to go through a bit of a rough time because they don't have your advice, your energy to access. You got to ask again later. Yeah. And I feel that there's somebody who wants to ask to be back in your life, and they could have tried in the past to reconcile with you or be around you, but it wasn't the right timing. And as much as they try to ask around for advice on a certain topic, you're the person who knows the answers to this. And some of you guys may be shocked about this or shocked about who this person is, but you may be shocked you're the only one who has these answers. Your gifts are divinely orchestrated. And again, what you think is obvious to everybody isn't. Like, again, you guys are my people. Ever since you were young, of course that person stole from you. Look at the way that they are. And people are like, I didn't see that. You know, you see the way people are. So to you, you think certain things everybody should just be aware of. But your gifts make you on this new level of awareness. So what's obvious to you is actually a gift from God, if that makes sense. Your discernment, right? People miss your discernment, but they don't deserve it if they didn't have your back when you guys needed it too as well, or they decided to X you out of a situation thinking they had everything together. Like, I feel like there's a situation here where someone took your advice to get they took your advice to get to a certain point, and then they thought they didn't need you anymore, or they decided to go against something that their ego was comfortable with. Aquarius, fly your freak flag. Yeah. And you guys are very innovative and different. So the way that you do things may be weird or strange to others, but in the future, like, that's the way everyone's going to be doing things. And you've done this before in the past. The way that you've processed things, the way that you discuss things, And it's going to be with whatever line of work you're in, but also just your everyday life. Like the things that you talked about that were weird or strange in the past, they're like normal for certain people to talk about now. I know you guys could pick a topic in your mind where that has happened, where like you were really into researching something and then everybody got into it. And part of that is you are trendsetters, but another part of it is that you have this ability to tap into what's coming next, like, or you're the trendsetters collectively. The information is always out there, but the intuitive people are meant to bring it down for everybody else to process, or you're the one who did it first or talked about it first. Like some of you guys are doing spiritual work. You were the first people to talk about it when you were younger, 10, 15, 20 years ago, whatever, even a couple of years ago. You were the first to talk about something that everybody is talking about now. So people are talking about how you were the first to do blank. You were the first person to say this, whatever it is. And this is something that happens a lot, and it is a common theme in your life. We got playfulness, retreat, surrender, and release. You're getting advice right now to just stay in a playful energy, surrender, and retreat when you need to, because you are going through another awakening and your gifts are turning up a notch. And a lot of you guys are extra sensitive lately, extra overwhelmed. You're feeling a lot of things, but you will level out to this new version of yourself. But lately, whatever it is that you're discussing or telling people about, you end up being right. And I also feel that your intuition can guide people on advice on things that, and some of you guys, don't, I feel like, I don't want to perpetuate any spiritual narcissism, I always say this, but there are things that like you can intuitively like solve, but you're not an expert in that field because of your intuition. So I'm not saying that your gifts make you an expert in a field where someone has done so much extensive research and degrees or whatever, or 20 years experience. But what I am saying is that you have the problem to look at something and intuitively be able to solve it. And someone could be doing something for so long, like 20, 30 years, and miss a simple error that you guys are able to see. And partially it's your intelligence, partially it's your logic, and partially it's your discernment, your spiritual gifts. So why don't we have, collective here look at it? That's what I'm hearing people saying about you right now. People are saying, why don't we have this person look at it? There are people that want you to look at something for them or review something for them or your opinion on something. This has something to do with your work or workplace. And I feel for some of you, someone's going to be making a new position for you and asking you if you want to work with them, or someone is going to be reaching out, asking your advice because they feel like you'd be the good person for the job because you're good at being able to, you are somebody who's good at something. Intuitively and naturally is a God-given gift. I feel like this is going to be your discernment, your intuition, your awakening, plus some other spiritually, divinely orchestrated gift that you have. There's going to be something door opening up for you that people are going to be knowing you even more for this, or someone's going to be offering you a job. So that's the good news. I know a lot of you have been in a season of, just feeling down and out or just not like yourself, but you are preparing for something bigger and also being very spiritually protected while you go through these changes and removing the people from your life that just no longer need to be there or they're holding you back. So I always say this, like when there's people who are just not in a good energy or they're just involved with the wrong things, they can cloak your spiritual gifts or stifle your growth. And you are being called to just vibe up, basically. 10th house, keep it professional. In Capricorn, look, there's like a double Capricorn energy here. Buckle down and get to work. 10th house, keep it professional. People are also talking about the fact that you are someone that knows how to keep things professional. Someone has been praying to God for a second chance with you guys because they see their mistakes now through an awakening they're going through. But not only that, like if you were to reach out to them, they were to reach out to you, maybe you guys have reached out to this person because you knew they also had an expertise that you needed and you still kept things civil with them. But I'm hearing you always keep things professional. You always keep things light and playful. Like they're the ones who like ruined their connection with you or ruined whatever it is that you guys had here. And I'm hearing that someone's discussing you with somebody else and they're saying the reason why they were mad at you for being out the door in a certain situation, but the reason why you were is because you knew how things were going to go. You knew how they were going to move. Like you kind of scare people because they want to be right so badly, but when you see something or you see a pattern or way someone's behaving and you know what's going to come next. And again, I'm going back to the message at the beginning where you were right about somebody else around somebody and you knew how that person was going to move and act. So you decided to just remove yourself from that situation. And there's a person here that wish they listened. Things are magically aligning. So what I'm seeing is that you started to pull out from something, pull your energy away or out of a situation. And some of you, like, this is not something that is like you consciously did. You got burnt out, you got tired, you got drained, you just didn't feel like doing it anymore. You listened to your intuition, you needed rest, right? But that was meant to be so that you could recharge for the right timing. things are magically aligning for you, and people just see, okay, this person's pulling out right now. Maybe I should pull out of the situation too. Oh, this person decided to, like, people are watching you to see what you're doing because they feel like you have some higher level knowing that gets you to move a certain way. And again, some of you do know how to spot these things, and some of you guys out there just naturally do this intuitively. You may be hard on yourself, like, why am I not inspired? Why do I not feel like doing this right now? Why do I feel like just quitting for a little bit, you know? But that's your intuition, because when you do come back or switch gears, like, and you're on point somewhere else, like, you're listening to your intuition. That's essentially what I'm seeing. So yeah, these are magically going to be aligning for you guys because you pulled out of certain relationships, places, situations, things that were no longer serving you, that got you moving very strongly in the right direction. And it was never that you were moving in the wrong direction, but sometimes your intuition requires you to get out of the habits and patterns that you're in, vibe up, and redirect. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here. There's a few people talking about how you are the one who does that. And every season of your life where it looks like you may be making a change, people kind of pay attention to that because they want to make sure they're on the right path too. And I know a lot of you out there are like, I'm just trying to figure out what makes me happy, but God is always going to take care of you guys. So if you're moving in a direction where you feel called to, chances are there's going to be abundance over there. People say you know how to get to the abundance. You know how to understand how the world moves. You are the one who knows a lot of things, guys. So I'm gassing you up today, but people are talking about it. Yeah, some of you guys, like, people care about your opinion about things. Somebody here could be reviewing products or something like that. Like, people look for your opinion, or some of you could make money doing that. People care about your opinion or your review about something too as well. Your opinion matters. I feel like you guys are being called to speak up if, like, you feel unjust about something, because people do care about your opinion. The way that you write, the way you communicate, like, you have a spotlight on you naturally as a light worker and a healer. So keep doing what you're doing. You are one of a kind. People are talking about that too, okay? Someone's got a crush on you in the workplace. You naturally get people having crushes on you because of the way that you guys are. Your intelligence is very attractive to a lot of people. I am angry at you. Someone around me wants us to break up. Okay. Knowing you is a privilege and an honor. Someone's just talking about the fact that someone broke you guys up, your friendship, your partnership, your business relationship, and knowing you was a privilege because they realized they excelled when it wasn't always easy, because you put people on that path that could be tough to make changes, to grow, to elevate, to get rid of toxic patterns, for clarity, for peace. Like that, sometimes that path is a little difficult, especially with spiritual warfare, all those things. So people at the time, if they're not strong, energies could be turning you against them or turning them against you, right? So somebody here realized that's happened and they're angry. They were angry at you. They're angry at someone else for allowing it to happen, but through their awakening, they're realizing the only person they should blame is themselves, because looking back at it, it was obvious what was going on. You saw it. You saw what was going on very easily, and they made you feel weird or bad or stupid about yourself because you told them a certain direction wasn't going to work out for them. And it could have saved them a lot of headache, and they could have been a lot further in their path if they listened to you. And that isn't divinely orchestrated. That's just you guys being light workers and healers. And not everybody wants to listen, but they will go back and think about the things you told them. And they're going to wish they did have a pen and paper when struggling to speak today. But you guys know what I'm saying. Basically, like, people who dismiss the thing that you were saying are going to wish they had a pen and paper when they were around you, because you knew what was up. And the thing is that, like, you're not meant to have people around you that don't honor your energy, your presence, your advice. And if people start to take it for granted, pull back your energy and go to redirect it to people that do need it or want it or appreciate it, because your expertise are needed. They're needed here on this earth. I want you guys to comment below if you got this far into the video. I am an expert in my field, okay? I'm scared you will leave me. There's just so many situations where people act out out of the ego because they're so afraid of losing you, because you are very valued, and they act out in certain ways. And there's someone that basically did just that. I spread lies about you. People spread lies about you guys too as well, which you do know, because you are my light workers, my healers, and a lot of negative energies, people's situations are going to work overtime to basically devalue you, or what's the word again? Sometimes when I'm channeling, I forget the word that I want to use, but just a word where they want to invalidate you, right? People want to invalidate you right now, because I don't even hearing right now, but I feel like it was more the past. But it's okay. What I'm hearing is that right now, someone wishes they could still invalidate you to someone else, but it's not going to work anymore. In the past, they did it to somebody and they listened. They validated you by just like spreading lies about you. But this person has realized that those lies were not true, and they ruined and fumbled a really good connection with somebody who is on point and would have made them on point too. Because it's kind of like they missed the mark in so many ways, and they could have just been so much further ahead in life. And again, like they had to go through their own struggles to get there. I am dealing with trauma. A lot of times it is people's trauma, like say it's family members or friends or people in their life that like say that this is a masculine energy that this resonates with your feminine energy. Maybe they have a hard time listening to feminine energy. They have a wound with that, or maybe it's a family member and they have trauma with their relationship. They always want to listen to their partner over you, like whatever, right? Whatever situation is, trauma could have led this person to want to listen to somebody else over you. And they're regretting that and they're discussing that because they said that you are on fire, you're on point with the things that you say. And they don't understand why you were always on fire, you were always on point. Why did they not trust what you were saying? Like they're so mad at themselves right now. Someone is so mad at themselves for not trusting you, not trusting your word, because you just wanted to help them. And again, you guys are not perfect. You deal with a lot. You have a lot of spiritual gifts. You deal with spiritual warfare. Sometimes your delivery isn't the best. Sometimes you're agitated. Sometimes you're under attack. But what you do with love. And even if you make a mistake, you guys are willing to always compromise or make peace with people, because truly you want peace and you want people to grow. And you understand that sometimes the path is difficult to get there. But certain people, they're around certain people that enable them, tell them lies, love drama, gossip, and they never get anywhere fast. They move backwards in life. But when these people start to have other things go well for them, or they have other ways they elevate, or they start to get clarity, they really begin to see who's really in their corner and who isn't. And somebody is shocked at the fact that you were the one in their corner the whole time. And it's not shocking that you were in their corner. It's obvious you're a good person. I talked about this many times. I think that it's easy to blame you guys because people don't want to change. They don't want to elevate. But deep down, people know you're a good person because in their time of need, they know that you're the one who picks up the phone. You're the one who cares about people in a different way. But it's their ego that gets in the way. But what's shocking to this person is how much people were actually not truly in their corner. And this was something that you told somebody here. And again, that's not everybody's truth, but that was this person's lesson to learn, putting their faith in the wrong person, especially before God, before their gifts themselves. So they had a delay in their awakenings and their gifts, or their gifts got stifled because they're around the wrong people. George, cut it out. Anyways, that's much I have for you guys today. Let me see if anything else wants to come through. Page of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely going to be hearing from somebody here. And again, it doesn't always have to be like a toxic ex or anything like that. You'd be surprised how you could have friends or situations with people where you may have mentioned something in passing. That person gives me a bad feeling and you forgot you said it. And someone kind of took that the hard way and was like, well, that's my best friend. That's my boyfriend. And then they kind of pull back from you and you're just kind of mind your own business. You don't really notice, or you did. You don't really care because you know you did the right thing. And they come back around, want to be closer to you because you were right about it, and then sometimes that just happens like that. But I think that's exactly what happened in a situation like this. And someone is saying, oh, this person was right about somebody else. Dang, I wish I listened because I wasted a lot of time investing in that relationship. And you were the one who really was like, oh, bad feeling. And you guys, you're like myself. You're my collective. So how annoying it is to have these gifts, because sometimes we don't have the logical explanation for things. But I always say this, and I'll still say it. Intuition is just accelerated logic. Pretty soon the science will come out. Like, you're smart enough to logically point out the red flags too, but certain people just don't want to listen as well. But what I want to say is that, your gifts sometimes are so super strong that you skip all that process and you're like, bad energy right there. And people don't want to believe that. Plus you have no evidence or proof, and you don't want drama either, pointing out things that people don't want to hear. But in some situations, your gut is just going to punch you and you're going to have to say it. And you guys know you've been through that. And basically so many times you guys wish you didn't say anything because something bad might have happened. People are reflecting on those situations and wishing that they reacted better towards you and still had someone like you closer to them in their life. Because basically you guys stopped wanting to give certain people advice or help certain people the way they treated you after you did. And that's exactly what you'd be doing. Pull back your energy when people don't appreciate your gift, because many people will, including, other people like you in the collective. I know that I have spiritual gifts, but I always can really respect somebody who can call things out for me too, because we all need someone to watch our backs as well. Like, we're all stronger in a unit. So that's what I'm seeing. Like, other people can have spiritual gifts, but sometimes have a bit of an ego. There's times where I've given readings to people and they're pretty up there with respected in certain communities, and they're people who just have a lot of people look up to them, and they're very gifted and talented. but there are times where I relay a message to them, and typically, you know, especially if it's something they reached out to me for help with, and they may not like my response, but later on they'll come back and be like, you're right, Alice, you know. And listen, I don't ever want to be the bringer of bad news, but once in a while when I do take readings, it's the worst part about doing it. Sometimes I feel really bad. I'm like, you know, telling people what I see, but if I see it clearly, I'm going to say it. And that's what the message essentially is today. Like, you see things no one else sees, so honor that and keep being you, because we need your truth here. We need your honesty. We need people to speak up. And the truth is that once you start speaking up, other people might as well, especially when it's more about bigger world views. And for some of you out there, it is about a toxic relationship. Maybe you notice something weird with somebody in your life, and then you start talking to this person about it, or other people about it, and other people start to see it too, you know, especially when it's with good intentions. Because sometimes people will write off the things you say and notice as gossip when it certainly is not. You know, I want you guys to comment below. I have been given the gift of clarity, okay? So you guys do get clarity about certain people's situations. Maybe confusing why you're getting the message, or confusing how to go about relaying it, but you do receive messages for a reason. And if you're meant to be that warning in people's life, that's God has blessed you with that, because you're strong enough to handle the backlash. Keeping it real is your is one of the reasons why you guys are chosen, okay? This is something that you've always had ever since you were younger, authenticity and not using these gifts for the wrong reasons, okay? So thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and thank you, George, for gracing us with your presence. You almost distracted me, but we need to get this message on point, okay? Because my people are on point, and we need to match their energy. Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will be uploading Patreon, but I upload every single week, so you guys want to check that out, be sure to do so if you want to support me, okay? Bye, guys. George is distracting me now. Love you.